All right, what's up, YouTube? What's up, guys? So I want to talk about this topic here. This topic is talking about summer forex trading. So I'm going to hop into some time frames here and give you guys what I've. Oops, I apologize for that. Let's put this down. So let's get to it. I know, guys, like a lot of messages going on, but I'm going to hop into it and talk about summer forex trading. So this topic has been brought up to my attention multiple times, and I'm gonna hop into here and talk about like a little bit on US 30, gold, USDJPY, right? The US dollar index, and oil. So we're gonna hop into. Let's talk about oil. So we already know what's happening with oil, right? So it's on the 4-hour chart here for oil, and everything's on trading view. Now, obviously in the summertime, right? Seasons changes, right? So every 90 days, right? So I live in the 4-season state. So if when summertime comes in, we know that oil, gas prices go up, right? So the oil prices are up, and that's how the normal things are going, right? But obviously for this year, things have changed so rapidly at a fast pace, and due to the pandemic and due to everything else, right? Central banks involved. We got presidential campaign coming up. There's a lot of fundamentals that took in place along. Also OPEC too. OPEC with the Middle East. So I want to hop into the monthly chart, and if you were to dive down, I want to dive down to, let's talk about what happened last year. So this is May, and we have May to September. So from May to September, you can see things were starting to peak at a really high price. And then let's talk about here. May of 2018 to September of 2018, right? Another high, right? So, and then you can see, it went down, right? Winter time, same thing. You can see here, November to this, November all the way to tax season went all the way down, pretty bad, right? So it's just something to look into, especially on the fundamental side. If you like to trade oil, obviously I'm not a big trader in trading oil, trading MT4 or any of the forex brokers. So, but if you look at, like I said, if you look at, in wintertime, oil prices are down, right? Gas prices are down relatively low. And then, oh yeah, Canada's main export is oil too. So if you like to trade USD CAD, look into that as well. But that is, one factor that you want to look into if you want to trade oil. So there's a lot of fundamentals. Like I said, a lot of fundamentals have been played out for, this year, have caused oil to be strucken down. And you just got to be really prepared where things are headed. So, and I don't know, I don't really want to talk too much about oil. Like I said, oil is not my biggest pair that I trade. It's just something on the fundamental side if you really want to get into it. And also that oil drives Canada, because Canada's main export is oil. So it's another thing I want to mention there. But anyways, let's talk about US dollar though. Summer trading. I want to talk about, there's a lot of consolidation during summer. What I mean by that is that there's not a whole lot going on during the summertime. So let's talk about what happened last year. May to September of 2019. So we line this up here, and we line this up here. Still in the uptrend, right? But if you really look at it, really not a whole lot going on anyways with the US dollar. I'm gonna hop into US 30, do the same thing. Let me move this back up. May to September. May and then September. So not a whole lot going on, right? From 27,000 back down to 25,000, 24,000. So just trying to give you guys a snapshot of looking into what summer brings you anyways. Let's look at gold from last year, summer, May and September of last year. This is the best time to buy. I mean, obviously a lot of people bought it here, but see here, this is a really good turning point. So obviously on the monthly chart, gold has struck a really high price, but I have my horizontal line. And if you look at the previous highs, this one went down pretty hard. This would be the next one to break. Ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if gold gets shot down anyways, the way it's been going. It's been on a massive bull run. And I wouldn't be surprised if they shoot gold go back down as a retracement for a quick pullback. So that's what I'm looking at. UJ, let's talk about UJ. UJ has been on a consolidation period for a while, but summertime, let's talk about this from June to June. June of 2018 to June of 2019. So not a whole lot has been going on for US dollar to Japanese yen. Obviously, Japan is United States ally. They're both go hand in hand together. And obviously, Bank of Japan hasn't really done anything to capitalize on their economy. Also, the auto industry has taken a hit, especially for Japan because they make automobiles, and that's one of the main economic supports from there. So, just something to think about on where things are being hit with business and retail, imports, exports, and so. But you can see that there's not a whole lot going on, but it is still on a downtrend. I'll be honest about that. It is still on a downtrend. This is my monthly trend line here. And if you date this back from 2015 at the highest, it hasn't come back to retest the high at all. So the 2015 yearly high has not been retested. And there is a lot of support here at 106, here, right? And starting bar here, but overall, it hasn't decided to break back up to retest to break 110. If it doesn't even break 110, I wouldn't even hold it for a swing anyways. So this is, to be honest, I'll be honest right now, it is not the best pair to swing. Same thing with USD Swiss franc. That's not a great pair to swing. I mean, if you look at USD Swiss on the monthly, this is US dollar Swiss franc right here, and not a whole lot has changed for US dollar Swiss franc, except it's still on a downtrend. And to me, my honest opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just keeps continuing down. So overall, I wouldn't be surprised if the US dollar goes on a new downtrend. Probably, after the new president comes in, I wouldn't be surprised. And based on this, like I said, you can see that it's already starting to trickle down on this bull channel, because this is my channel right here with two trend lines paralleling up here. But you can see that this is already outside and it wants to pin itself back down even further. So wouldn't be surprised if they send the US dollar back down, and we could might see this recession coming up quickly here, regardless of what has happened with the pandemic. So just something about with COVID-19, and it's still around, and where the markets are headed. Wouldn't be surprised if this gets shot, the US dollar gets shot down first, and then Wall Street will come right back down. And then we look at the housing market, right? And we look at where the economies are going to be impacted all around the world. So you have to look at a bigger perspective that United States is revolved around everywhere else in the economy for every single country that that deals with the US dollar being exchanged. So just something to think about. But like I said, for summer, not a whole lot goes around. I mean, we're in July now, but not a whole lot goes on for the summertime. It's a lot of scalping. It's a lot of intraday trading. For swinging is not the best, and it's really on you if that's what you want to do, if you want to swing. But to me personally, out of the 3 years that I've traded, well, no, this is my third year. So, out of the past 2 years I've traded, the summertime is by far the worst months of trading for me, and also it is more ideal to be a scalper in the summer than unless, like I say, if you want, you can anybody can scalp the markets any season. Well, I'm just saying that summertime there's not a whole lot going on. There's a lot more consolidation, a lot more tight zone structures, price structures, and there is more breakouts, but you have to catch the breakout if that's what you want to anticipate on. And so just be careful on that. But for this year, we just seeing just a lot of fundamentals that are just being played out after so many events. But the coronavirus was one of them, right? Fed cutting their rates, right, because of what's happening with the pandemic. The UK is still trying to figure out what they're trying to do with the Brexit deal that hasn't been finalized yet with the European Union. Australia, New Zealand is also facing an issue as well. Bank of Japan, back in Japan there, China, what else? Mexico, you got Canada taking a hit from the oil, Middle Eastern countries from that going against OPEC. I mean, you got a lot of different, like I say, you got a lot of different fundamental events, and political events is huge. And also the central banks are coming in even more. So we can only anticipate so much of what's going to happen for the remainder of this year for 2020. But I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, at the end of this year, we might see a really huge hit in Wall Street. If not, the dollar might tumble down, and gold is probably going to be the biggest. To be honest, if gold is that big, that much bigger of a move right now, especially just looking at this on a monthly, I mean, it's just a safe haven to just buy. So long term, like I said, wouldn't be surprised if it ends up breaking 1,800 for 2,000, and it probably end up striking a really new high price, because fundamentally gold is been driven a lot based on fundamentals for this year. And if you look at, I mean, just this year, all right, I'm putting this out. Just this year in 2020, the beginning of 2020, right? This is the first candle of January 2020. Just this year alone, it has gained from 15, let's just say 1,500, from 1,500 to 1,774 right now. That's $200 gain. That's insane. That's just insane of how much it has gained in just beginning of this year up until now. It's in 7 months, it's gained over $200 in value. So just look at how much price is being driven in gold right now. So just look at where the investors are going. Just look where big companies are going for. Are the big companies gonna file for bankruptcy, file for more losses, and where the employees are gonna be, how the employees are gonna pay for their bills, and you pay attention to. I'm paying close attention to Wall Street, the U.S. dollar index, gold, and the housing market. So those are 4 things that I'm paying attention to this year, just to see where everything is going to tie in place when the new president comes in. I'm not foreseeing Trump to be reelected. This is my personal opinion. I'm not saying this because I'm against Republicans or I'm for Democrats. I'm not saying all that. I'm just looking at where things have been skyrocketed ever since he came in for businesses, and the businesses can only go up so high, right? So eventually it's got to turn itself back down. There's got to be some kind of downturn. So what great way of bringing the downturn would be the pandemic. I mean, that's just crazy. And then wouldn't be surprised if they bring the second wave, a second lockdown for the United States, and travel ban, and more restrictions, and not so sure if they plan on bringing the vaccines or anything. So just kind of feel it out. Don't get too crazy, right? And to me, honestly, but it's just another personal opinion. I wouldn't even buy a house because of where the market might end up shifting for next year. So a lot of people think it's the right time to buy because of the lowest rates, but that's to be honest. I mean, you're still gonna get screwed over if you bought a house now and then the market goes into recession. I'm just being honest about that. So just something to think about, especially if you decide to buy a house. Me personally, I just wouldn't. But anyways, that is it. I hope you guys have a great Friday, great July 4th weekend. Stay stay positive, stay safe, and like I said, more success content coming out. Like I said, I hope this video makes sense for you guys. I do plan on talking more on fundamentals later on once we get closer to fall season and where I'm seeing for what's coming up for the new president, what could happen, and economically and globally, where we're going to see where the Forex markets are going to bring us. And so I haven't really talked too much about fundamentals, but fundamentals has been a huge play for this year. And it's probably going to be a huge play for the next, 4 or 5 years until we see, some kind of like normal markets are playing out again. This has just been a wild ride for this year. It's been crazy, right? Within the beginning of tax season and during tax season. So just something about we could probably see the same thing, coming in fall season and up until, presidential campaign. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there's so much movement during fall season. So just something about. So like I said, say guys, peace.